You were never born believing you were weak. You did not enter this world doubting yourself, fearing rejection, or expecting failure. Somewhere along the journey of life, those ideas were planted into your mind little by little, experience after experience, word after word. As a child, your mind was open, impressionable, and deeply sensitive to everything around you. The opinions of parents, teachers, friends, and society slowly became the voice inside your own head. Every criticism, every moment of embarrassment, every comparison, and every painful experience began forming invisible beliefs within your subconscious mind. Without realizing it, you started accepting limitations that were never truly yours. You began believing you were not smart enough, attractive enough, talented enough, or worthy enough. Over time, those repeated thoughts stopped feeling like opinions and started feeling like facts. This is exactly what Dr. Joseph Murphy taught when he explained the incredible power of the subconscious mind. Whatever is repeated emotionally and consistently eventually becomes accepted as truth deep within the mind. Most people spend years fighting symptoms like fear, anxiety, insecurity, and self-doubt without ever realizing that the true battle is happening underneath the surface. The subconscious mind quietly controls behavior, reactions, confidence, habits, and even the expectations you hold about your future. If your subconscious has been programmed with fear, you will unconsciously hesitate even when opportunities appear. If your mind has been conditioned with rejection, you may push people away before they can hurt you. If you were taught to expect failure, you may sabotage your own success without even understanding why. The frightening part is that these mental programs often operate automatically. People live their entire lives believing they're simply broken or naturally weak when, in reality, they have just been mentally conditioned in the wrong direction. But the moment you become aware of this truth, something powerful begins to happen inside you. You start realizing that your current mindset is not your identity. It is programming, and anything programmed can be changed. The human mind is far more flexible and powerful than most people have been taught to believe. New beliefs can be planted. Confidence can be rebuilt. Emotional wounds can heal. Fear can lose its control over you. The same subconscious mind that once absorbed negativity can also absorb strength, peace, courage, success, and self-belief. This transformation does not happen overnight, but it begins the moment you stop identifying with the lies that were placed inside your mind years ago. You're not weak because you feel afraid sometimes. You are not a failure because you struggle internally. You are not unworthy because life has hurt you. You have simply been carrying mental patterns that no longer serve the person you are capable of becoming. And once you understand that your thoughts shape your reality, you begin reclaiming the power that was always inside you from the very beginning. The problem is that most people never question the voice inside their own mind because they have heard it for so many years that it feels completely normal. They wake up every morning carrying silent beliefs that influence every decision they make. They expect disappointment before they even try. They assume rejection before they speak. They prepare for failure before an opportunity even begins. These patterns become so deeply rooted that people start building their entire identity around them. A person who was repeatedly criticized as a child may grow into an adult who constantly apologizes for existing. Someone who is ignored emotionally may spend years believing they are unlovable. A person who experienced repeated failure may unconsciously fear success because pain has become familiar. This is how subconscious conditioning quietly shapes human behavior. Dr. Joseph Murphy often explained that the subconscious mind does not argue with what it is told repeatedly. It accepts emotional impressions as truth and then works tirelessly to reflect those beliefs back into daily life. This means the thoughts you consistently feed your mind eventually influence your actions, emotions, habits, and even the circumstances you attract around you. Many people do not realize that they are mentally rehearsing fear every single day. They replay painful memories, imagine worst-case scenarios, and constantly speak negatively about themselves without understanding the damage it creates internally. The subconscious mind listens to every word. It absorbs every emotional reaction. When you repeatedly say, "I am not good enough, nothing ever works for me," or "I always fail," your mind begins organizing your behavior around those beliefs. That is why some people remain trapped in cycles they desperately want to escape. Their conscious mind wants change, but their subconscious programming keeps pulling them back toward familiar emotional patterns. This internal conflict creates exhaustion, frustration, and hopelessness. However, the moment a person becomes aware of this process, the possibility of transformation begins. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. You cannot change a mental program that you refuse to recognize. Once you understand that many of your fears were learned rather than inherited, you stop seeing yourself as powerless. You begin realizing that confidence is not something reserved for a lucky few. It is a mental condition that can be developed through repetition, belief, and emotional reinforcement. The same mind that learned insecurity can also learn strength. The same subconscious that accepted fear can also accept peace, courage, discipline, and success. This is why protecting your mental environment becomes so important. The words you hear daily, the people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, and the thoughts you repeat all shape the subconscious mind over time. Your future is constantly being influenced by what you consistently allow into your inner world. If you continue feeding your mind negativity, fear will continue growing. But if you intentionally plant thoughts of hope, confidence, gratitude, and self-worth, your internal reality slowly begins changing. Real transformation starts within the unseen part of the mind long before it appears outwardly in your life. And once that inner shift begins, everything about the way you see yourself and your future starts changing with it. One of the greatest illusions people carry through life is the belief that their past permanently defines their future. Many individuals spend years trapped inside emotional prisons built from old experiences, painful memories, and negative conditioning. They replay moments of failure so often that they unknowingly keep reliving the same emotions again and again. The mind begins treating those memories as evidence of personal limitation rather than temporary experiences that could have been overcome. This is why so many people become emotionally stuck. They stop imagining a better future because they have become mentally attached to an old identity built around fear, insecurity, disappointment, or rejection. Dr. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious mind responds strongly to repetition and emotional intensity. Whatever the mind consistently focuses on eventually grows stronger within a person's inner reality. This means that constantly dwelling on pain, weakness, fear, or self-hatred only deepens those patterns over time. The subconscious does not separate imagination from reality in the way most people assume. When negative emotions and thoughts are repeated daily, the mind accepts them as instructions and begins shaping behavior accordingly. A person who secretly believes they are destined to fail may unconsciously avoid opportunities that could change their life. Someone who believes they are unworthy of love may settle for unhealthy relationships because pain feels familiar. Others may sabotage success because deep inside they feel uncomfortable receiving happiness they do not believe they deserve. This is how subconscious programming silently controls decisions without most people ever noticing it. The tragedy is that many individuals blame themselves for these patterns while remaining completely unaware of the deeper conditioning behind them. They call themselves weak, lazy, broken, or incapable when, in reality, they have simply been mentally trained to think against their own potential. But the moment you recognize this truth, your entire perspective begins shifting. You start understanding that healing is not about pretending the past never happened. It is about refusing to allow old experiences to control your identity any longer. The human mind has the incredible ability to create new emotional pathways through repeated thoughts, focused belief, and intentional mental discipline. Every time you consciously reject a destructive belief and replace it with a healthier one, you begin weakening the old program. At first, the process may feel uncomfortable because the mind naturally clings to what feels familiar. Fear often resists change, even when change is necessary for growth. But over time, consistent mental conditioning begins creating a different inner reality. Confidence grows through repetition. Peace grows through repetition. Self-worth grows through repetition. The thoughts you nurture daily eventually become the emotional foundation of your life. This is why guarding your mind is one of the most important responsibilities you will ever have. Every thought carries energy. Every repeated belief shapes your emotional direction. If you continue speaking weakness over your life, weakness will continue influencing your actions. But when you begin speaking strength, hope, faith, and possibility into your subconscious mind, something powerful begins awakening within you. You slowly stop seeing yourself as a victim of your past and begin seeing yourself as the creator of your future. And that realization alone has the power to transform an entire life from the inside out.